Hello, my name is Mr. Weimer. I'm an instructor here at TSTC Waco campus. Today we're going to be talking about hooking our manifold set up to our refrigeration trainer in a safe and proper manner to ensure that we don't injure ourselves or damage our system. We're going to start by using an adjustable wrench, and we're going to loosen these 4 caps on our service valves. These caps do not need to be on there super tight. Their main purpose is to just block out debris and dirt. Grab our manifold right here. We're going to start by hooking up our high side hose to our high side service valve, or also known as a king valve. And we'll move on to our low side, also known as a queen valve. We'll make sure our connections are nice and snug. Since we're not using our yellow hose, we're going to go ahead and valve it off. All right. When we make adjustments on our service valves, we're only going to use a 1/4-inch square head service tool. At no point are we going to use an adjustable wrench or a pair of pliers on these stems, because they'll strip them out really quick. So if we look at our gauges here, we have 0 pressure reading. Well, when I turn this stem clockwise to mid-seat it, it allows refrigerant from the system to flow through our hose and read on our gauge. Now, because both my hand valves on my gauges are closed, the red hose only shows on the red gauge. Now, to get my blue one, we're going to turn it clockwise. We now have pressure on our gauges from each side of the system. We need to make a quick little purge on both sides. Doesn't take a lot. We're just displacing any non-condensables that may be in our hoses. All right. Let's go ahead and get this unit plugged up. This middle switch turns our compressor on. The 2 outer switches turn on our lights to add heat to the system. So in order to safely remove our hoses from the system, we have to do it in a pretty specific manner to ensure that we don't damage the compressor or spray ourselves with refrigerant. We're going to start by fully back seating our high side service valve. That shuts off the flow of refrigerant from the system into our hose. However, we still have refrigerant in our hose up to our manifold. Well, we need to get that refrigerant over to the blue side. So just like we close that one, we're going to now open this red hand valve to allow the refrigerant to flow into our yellow line. When we do that, we need to purge our yellow line as well. You saw the pressure just drop pretty drastically there. That's because we went from this hose to now we're in both of these hoses. So let's kind of bleed out a little bit here. All right. What we're going to do now is we got refrigerant in both our red and yellow hose that we need to suck back into our compressor. We're going to do that by barely opening up this blue hand valve. This gauge pressure should go up a little bit. This one's going to fluctuate probably, and then it'll start to drop. And eventually it should match whatever pressure is on the blue. If we do it right, the suction port right here is cold. We're essentially making our manifold act as a metering device to make sure that a steady stream of liquid does not hit our compressor. All right. Now that we've got the refrigerant out of our system, there's still going to be some vapor in here, but we should have gotten all the liquid out. We can now fully backseat our suction service valve by turning it counterclockwise until it's snug. These do not need to be super tight, just snugged up a bit. All right. As you can see, we still have pressure on our hoses. This should just be vapor. So when I come up here, I'm going to just bleed off a little bit. And we're going to watch our gauges fall. Once it gets to about 25 psi, you can go ahead and take it off. All right. Get these put on. All right. Last thing we're going to do before we shut down, we're going to put all 4 of these caps back on. Like I said earlier, these caps aren't really designed to prevent leaks, but if there is a small leak, it could prevent some refrigerant loss. All right. Caps are back on. Last thing we're going to do is ensure we turn all the switches off and unplug our trainer. If we have any papers laying around, we want to make sure we pick those up and take them with us and keep our lab area nice and clean for the next person. All right. Thanks for your time.